Hey gang, I'm not really geared up to do a whole lot tonight, so I figured I would just kind of hang, just kind of chat for a bit, see how things shake out, maybe pull up some browser games or something, just like the kind of relaxed shit that's not a super huge deal. I think I might hook up my monitor. Wait for a moment, just a moment. And I could always pop into games as the night goes on, but I'm probably not going to be on for much more than an hour or two. Although I usually hang out and land around too. I have to make sure all my cables are... all my cables are in place. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, how y'all doing tonight? You having a good week so far? I've been plugging away at applying to various day jobs. I'd like to try streaming more, but I've been in this I was like in a weird funk for all of July. And it's just hard to motivate myself to do anything except stick to my usual scheduled responsibilities. But I tried. Yeah, I did kind of let its streaming slip a little bit towards the end of the month, but ultimately I think I managed to keep things in a sane and understandable place. What do you mean encoding overloaded? Oh, because I plugged in my monitor after starting my stream. Oops. Yeah, no. It, I think it resolved basically the instant it pulled up. We should be fine. I think we'll be fine. Just kind of chill out tonight. Yeah, that's a lot of tabs. I'm gonna move that around. A lot of this is like... that's my... oh... Dude, Loopy? 3dsvideocapture.com? Yeah, I think Loopy, forgot to renew his URL for that. I hope the forums are still up, at least. Blah, 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 blah. I want to add chat to my layout eventually. I've been dragging my feet on adding layout adjustments. I wanted to add chat and add like a now playing thing for music. And since I'm playing music, I guess soon would be better than later. I'm gonna just kind of hang out, see what's up with chat. I might pop out chat, actually, so it can follow me around. Follow me around the internet. Hello. How you doing? I'd like to be able to... can I pin a window? Is it easy to pin? I'll leave it there for a bit. Maybe not. I'll put chat on the side of my screen. I'm just gonna... I can put chat back. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do tonight. I'm just kind of fucking around. Restore chat. And I want to just pull a second window. This is a very... very yellow on this other monitor. Is that my... Huh. It's not usually like that when I play games. I wonder if that's like a consequence of it, like, not reading my funky armory crate, view modes. Maybe did I turn up the warmth already? Color, brightness, color temp warm. Oh yeah, I did switch it to warm. Weird. No, this is just like yellow all over. Why is that? It shouldn't be that much of a change. Weird. That doesn't change it. Huh. This is just weird for some reason altogether. Interesting! Why is it like that? Hello, Magalore memes. How you doing? Sorry I didn't greet you sooner. But that's okay. I think that's fine. I think we're fine. It's just kind of a hanging out kind of night. Where was I going? Tell me. Talk to me about my devices, Windows. Ah! That's my night light setting. I'll just turn down the strength. Can I, like, set it per... I think I might just turn down the strength. It was like orange. But yeah, now it's more like just like, yeah, this is white, but it's like a little bit warm for my eyes, for my eyeballs. For my eyeballs. Y'all aren't seeing this, I'm fucking around in the background. It's okay. It's that kind of night. I have way too many windows open overall, I think. If I wanted... Is there any way I can stream from one scene while editing another? I wonder if that's possible. Studio mode, which will give you 2 windows. The change is made until you hit the transition button in the middle. Studio mode. Oh, neat. Bing bong. I think I'm gonna plug my tablet in so I can peruse the internet. What do you mean setting up a device? You already... You should know this device already. Hi. Hello. It's a multi-view. The hell am I gonna find this alleged studio mode? Maybe if I do that and then do this. If I wanted to do shit on the internet, it's gonna just show my YouTube shit in the background. This song is from Kirby and the Forgotten Land, but I'm gonna... Ah. Was my... I don't remember... Did I fuck this up somehow? This is weird. I feel like I haven't... Ah! Wee wah wah woo wah wah. I feel like you need to see all my goddamn tabs. Hang on. Plugging in a mouse is how I know how to edit this, because I don't know how to scroll wheel on... I don't know how to scroll... I mean, I guess if I have the right settings set up. I'm gonna fiddle with the settings right here live. Right in front of you. Play games. Bing bong. Did I, like, misclick my border at one point? Oh, I think I figured out what it was. And what I figured it, I must have resized this. This must have been, like, my, Game Boy border or something? Or for another thing. But because it was, like, different... It's weird. And then, like, did that, and, like, hang on. Does that, like, fuck up? I wanna see if that fucked anything else up. No, it's independent again. What is that? I gotta... Wasn't it... Was it Control Scroll or Alt Scroll? To zoom. Bing bong, bing bong. Can you see my shit when I do this? No, because it's not in the window. That's actually quite nice. My secrets. I am allowed to have secrets. Thank you for my secrets. I'll just kind of fiddly-dee. Well, I just kind of shoot the shit about whatever. I have been playing a lot of just my pet sites lately, because they released achievements on Flight Rising back in June? I think, yeah, it was for the anniversary, so they released it June 8th. And I should probably do something about this. Hang on. Right, transform, reset. Is that edit, preview scaling? It should be preview scaling, right? But where would I find that? Preview scaling, canvas. Okay. What did I want to do? I think I just wanted to... Oh yeah, I was doing SWIP shit. How am I logged in on everything else? I think I have to log in via Discord on that shit. Deconstruct your mind, separate yourself from your thoughts. I have the thing. trading post, swift stand. What's up? I need moth-eaten rugs, but I can't grind for those. Yeah, this isn't any grindable swift stuff, so I probably should just go ahead and start with the good ol' bing bong bong bing. Wait, is it? Oh, I just realized it's on repeat single, so it's replaying the Kirby song over and over. What did I want? I just wanna just play. Just play the thing. Play the thing? Just play the thing. Hi. I'm hanging out. I'm not doing a whole lot tonight. I just kinda wanna chill. Chill, chat. Shoot the shit. I don't have anything interesting to say. At the moment. Brain is constantly full of projects. Well, I mean, I do have it. I could just, if I am powerful enough, I can absolutely come up with shit to talk about. I just need to have confidence in myself. I've been working on a commission for a friend, and I think, she gave me a deadline for it recently, and I managed to, like, pull myself out of a bit of a funk and start working on it again. So I feel pretty good about that. Spoilers for her personal shit, but so I'm not going to show it in case it gets out to the rest of the friend group, but, stuff. Ooh, power outage? That sucks. I can't. There's gotta be, there was like, was it shift scroll? Was it tab scroll? Nah, tabs is like... Yeah, I think you switch it, if you scale to window, it's like guaranteed. Whoa. That's not what I meant. OBS. Control? Come on. I knew how to do this. I learned how to do this and then forgot. It was the fucking space bar. Oh, I'm a turbo idiot. So I'm gonna have my magical ability to, actually, what is this? Is it like, yeah, it's like, hold on. I'm gonna do some OBS magic. I think it was Alt. Yeah, that lets me crop it. So I always like to have my menu bar at the top of the screen, but y'all don't actually need to see that for the full experience. So I can do... So yeah, Alt drag was pixel by pixel cropping. Well, Alt was cropping for resizing, and then space lets you pan around. I don't think you can see it on your end. But I can see it on mine, and it helps me get things pixel perfect like I like them. Now I would... Yeah, these sites get a lot of... Because of how wide the screen is, it's a lot of empty space off to the sides. So I could crop that out, but then I'd have to go back and change that for, like, other games, because Void Pet probably takes up the whole thing. Pixpet's got some shit on the sides. Like, it's got that big, nice central column. And I wanted to see if I could, like, check out some other, like, pet sites that I'm not even on. I'm probably not gonna end up playing Celestial Equine, actually. But, other pets is... old. It's old and it's dead, but one of the things I wanted to try eventually was Exodus. Yeah, it's a bit... It's a bit... Looks cheaper than I remember, actually. Huh. I can always come back to that at some other point. I'm probably doing a dumb. I should do that thing where I into feeks. Then I need to do border shenanigans by doing like this. I need to zoom in. Ah! Pixel perfect. Or so help me. My dragons are just gonna sit in front of this war toad for a bit. What the hell are you do? Oh, that's the whole thing I meant. Can I lock this and then... No, I can't. I have to unlock. Means I have to do this. Gently. Oh. Ah, magical. The magical at being semi-competent. God, yeah, that is so much border space. Good lord. If I wanted to log in on Void Pet, proceed with Discord. I'm not gonna... Pyribbit has escaped Kirby. Pyribbit is a genius name for a war toad. Because you can name your familiars now. But who would I give it to? That's the question. I don't think I have enough God damn it. I don't think I have enough Kirby fan dragons to justify giving a Molten War Toad to. But that's a good idea. That's so funny. Okay. Oh, it did the thing. It does that. Why does it do that? I don't know why it does that. That's weird to me. Stop that. I'm gonna zoom in. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know why I did that. I guess I zoomed out far enough and it was like, oh? See, this is insane. I don't know why it does that. But it is a problem I must deal with. Got like something to do with like... Yeah. Goodness gracious, where have you gone? Where'd you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? What the fuck? Why are you down there now? What kind of... Huh? What? Huh? Must have misclicked at some point. Y'all get to watch me and my OBS shenanigans live on stream. Enjoy the fun. I don't know why these fucking borders are so finicky. They always are, though. Excuse me. Blah. Okay, zoom back in. You get to watch the day-to-day boring part about being a streamer. Fucking around with software. It's quite fun. So that's roughly a pixel per... It, like, gets fucky when you pick either or. And you, like... What? Okay. Why does it do this? What is it? Did I like hold? Did I like grab this and then like... Oh yeah, it changes the proportions of the opening. So if I like reduce it, it's got scaling. It scales funny. I wonder if there's like a way around that. Maybe someday. Maybe not today. So that explains the weird bullshit occurring. In that universe. Because then there become less pixels as you change how it's shaped. Whoa. Let's see, I'm gonna lock that. What does this look like? Normal. I could narrow it a bit. I could also just, like, expand the window. Like so. Until it, like, sits behind me a little bit. Because it doesn't actually... But all the good shit, like, when I go over to Exodus... Yeah, that fills the whole damn screen. How do my other pet sites look? I'm gonna try out Griff someday. How does that look? Column in the middle. Gotcha. Tattered... What is it? Tattered World? I've heard of Tattered Weave. But... Maybe guys are cute, but I don't think they're exactly my style. For pets, Ichimon. I don't think Ichimon's my kind of... Wait, watch us. Well, it does kind of expand to fill everything. Let's see what it looks like when I log in. Oh, shut up. Okay, it does do the central column again. I could probably... One more. It does the central column again. Like, pet sites, even if they have, like, radically different, mechanics, they tend to have a generally pretty similar layout. They'll have that central column where all the action happens, and a cool background to sort of fill visual space. And the idea is that it works on multiple different computers and monitor sizes. But if I, like, make the whole damn thing, like, this big... Because then... Ugh. It's like, if I go on... I'm gonna fucking close out of that for now. I want you in dark mode. Thank you. Yes, I have cookies. I understand. I am already logged into the website. Everything's going. I've got a cloakhopper and a Purican Pixinite. How are the Pixpels doing? How are they doing? How are they doing? That's my Pix decks. Or my Pixpel decks, I guess. It did it again. Oh, it's just got a different layout now. No, I see. I don't need a prairiekin anymore, actually. Night handling. Yeah, I must have bid on this. Well, into the abyss it goes. I'm waiting for my others to sell so I can sell these. I might just actually dump these into the abyss. I might want a Mystifly, though. I already played all the games I can play. Wrong dragon. Wrong enemy. Correct dragon, wrong enemy. God. Whoa, Rabies is hanging on by a thread. Just the tiniest little bit. If I do this, I could do this. I could do this! Yeah, Exodus fills the whole screen. They don't look like my kind of creatures either. This probably isn't the kind of pet, like... It looks cheaper than I remember. What a music? Oh, it might. It might be... Pause. Can I... Yeah, this is almost like a browser game take on a mobile game, almost? Also like from one of those things that have a story. But, like, I don't know. Cute, I guess. Yeah, I guess I can respect it for existing. But... Quick Critters is a little too generic for me. Cute little guy. But, not quite what I'm looking for. What is Windrose? Alchemy? Are you one of those pixel... How old is this game? Shock clothing, quick fetch. Tell me your secrets! Interesting. I don't know, it doesn't have the level of polish that I would prefer from a title like that. Griff's is a sister site to Leaf, and I already play Leaf. Might as well pop. I got all my shit. Do I have everything relevant for the day? I'm gonna run around and scavenge a bit. I'm gonna play my Kirby music again. Do my occupations already? Yeah, I got my EXP for the day. Pawns respawn relatively frequently. I can get shit from that. I haven't been playing Leaf super duper duper actively, mostly because I am playing the long game of these creature shards, and there's a handful of projects that I'm working on with these. Oh, I realized that I have some breakable shards. Ba-da-ba. So yeah, I've been working on... I already have an agate saber loop, but I want another one to have a breeding pair. I'm doing the same for these neon saber loop and Savra. I want a breeding pair of tropical ram. The sun and Torty Tiger Drakes will be solo, so will the lavender ram, but like some of these are just like shit that I've wanted for a while. So let's see what the future holds for us. Dust. From dust you came, and to dust you shall return. Oh, damn! The first bit of dust I pull on stream. And it's immediately something I actually want. Usually it's a pain in the ass. This looks fucking insane. I'm gonna just go ahead and... Okay, window capture. I'm gonna do, like, a little bit of... 464... I guess... I'm gonna... zoom in. Oh! I'm gonna do window capture. I'm gonna do it by 14 pixels on either side. Oh, nope. 464 down to 450. Right. Or... that's its distance from the other side. I'll add 10 pixels on either side then. 74. You can't see this on your end, it's just... Actually, that's nothing. 74, 84, and I'll do 94. Zoom in. That's actually not much. What was it? 464. What if I do? Just immediately like 564. Just 100 pixels on either side. I said 100 pixels. I said 100 pixels on either side. And I'll scoot over to here. Y'all see nothing of what I'm doing. 100 pixels. It'll be 154 on this end. Let me work my magic, please. Let me work my magic, please. All right. I'm gonna lock that for the time being. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. Preview, edit, preview scaling to scale the window. Just so I can kind of get a feel for it. Got Hakakupaka. That's still a lot of space on either side. Nevervoke is just... I'm like comparing the widths now. Dappervoke and Pixpet are roughly the same, which is like maybe like a couple pixels bigger than Light Rising. But Light Rising and Leaf are pretty damn similar. Grits is wider than Leaf. Wider than... Oh, what the hell is going on over here? Good lord, what is happening in there? I'm gonna... Ba-da-da-da-da-da. What if it's uneven, though? Where? What if it's uneven? Okay, so now I can math it out. Why would you do that? Why are you scooting across the screen when I do that? I don't understand why it does that. Griffs used to have a different layout. This kind of looks nice. I remember it looking a little... Leaf has been undergoing some pretty significant gameplay adjustments, so I wouldn't be surprised if they've been making making Griffs look nicer as well, because they're run by the same people. I'm gonna make you watch this much. Griffs, no, that's the VP. Like, a virtual pet site, like, is much wider, but also that's probably not something I'm gonna stream from the internet. But, I mean, I suppose if I'm gonna fuck around this much, wish I could, like... evenly shave it down on either side, but I'm just gonna eyeball it for the time being, because it, like, does that. And I don't know why it does that, but it does. I think it does that because, that's its maximum. I would also love to do some more art streams in the future. I've just been terribly uninspired for my own purposes. I'm using Griffs as a baseline. It seems to have, like, a wider layout than others. I'm gonna lock you there. Do I want to lock you there? I think I want to scoot you back up here. I'll scoot you there. And then lock you. Nope. But I want to... Order one. Oh! I'm gonna start there. Nope, wait, nope. I'm gonna scroll in. I'm gonna make this pixel beautiful, so I move it. I don't scale it from the top. I move it. Up by 1 pixel. And then... we resize from the bottom. And the sides. But mostly from the bottom. Border 1 was, I wanted this. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, pet sites on widescreen tend to result in huge amounts of wide space. If I'm gonna be getting this swifty with creative exploits, then I might as well just go ahead and try to do some of the other things I've been meaning to do with my OBS layout. I'll get a couple attacks in, though. Which letter is assigned to? It's a W. I need to get rid of the Kamaitachi. Ba-da-ba-ba-bing, ba-bing, bong. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Okay. Bum bum ba-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ah-da-da. Ha-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ha-da-da. Ha-da-da. Why? Why'd you do that? And I will scoot all the way across. Scoot back across. Okay. Okay! I don't know why this little guy's so gung-ho about moving the way he does, but he is. Aw, jeez. The hell? What are you? Are you calculating from, like, the top left, the top right corner of the screen? That doesn't... Why? I don't understand! What a fun piece of software. What if I do this, and I only, like, I just make it pixel perfect on the top, and... I match up the corners. This is probably agonizing to watch, as y'all can't see the shit I'm doing. Because I'm just like, I gotta pixels! Pixel by agonizing pixel! And so it's probably boring as shit to watch. I think it's because I keep accidentally selecting the folder all of these things exist inside of, which I use for the convenience of resizing it all at once. But yeah, this is the kind of shit I did back when I was, first starting out, and doing all of the things that I had to prepare for before I even started streaming in the first place. So this is kind of a glimpse into, what it would be like if you ever wanted to try this out for yourself. I'd love to show you the nitty-gritty of Live 2D itself sometime. That'd be also fun. I don't know what I would want to do first. I have an idea for a small series called Tool-Assisted Character Design, which is exactly what it sounds like. I use tools to assist me in character designing. Basically taking, trying to find... trying to, like, magically summon art prompts from like, just bullshit. And so, there's a few ideas that I had, anywhere from random Pokemon hybrid generators to... So normally I take issue with, image generative AI models, but this was like a fun, silly, dumb little experiment where I was exclusively trained on, it's like a "this Pokemon does not exist" thing. It's like exclusively trained on the ripped models of every Pokemon, and it spits out stuff based on that, and the way you enter prompts is you, like, select what Pokemon type you're looking for, and a lot of it is garbled bullshit. But the point I'm trying to make is that garbled bullshit is fun for inspiration, and it'd be... I have a couple saved. Do I have any on my machine right now? It's all buried somewhere. Why did I pull up Leaf again? That's because I wanted to plant shit on my farm. I wanted to plant shit on my farm because I'm running low on cotton and flax, and I need those for various purposes. Ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. And I get all my... I need to weed everything. Water and weed, water and weed. I'm gonna get some flaxseed. I'm glad they reused that track from the Clash series in the main game. It's a good song for timed sections. They really insisted on using the title theme everywhere in this game. Forgotten Land, I mean. And I know that's probably because they focused as much as they could on not reusing leitmotifs from, leitmotifs from past games, because the whole point is that it's a new world! And, it certainly got that across. And there are lots of good new songs, but a lot of them are just remixes of Welcome to the New World. And I understand why, and that means it's the leitmotif for the whole game. But it does feel like it was a little bit overused. Just a bit, just a touch. Very exciting gameplay. Yeah, pet games overall are generally of the clicky variety. It's like, Pixpet has a text RPG kinda built in. I'm gonna plant some pumpkins. Go plant my pumpkins! That's why this is usually what I get up to off stream, just not a whole lot in the way of, I tend to save my, like, big game stuff. Well, I did play a lot of, Tears of the Kingdom off stream, now that I think about it. I just haven't played it in a while because I beat it and then stopped. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you're just looking to chill. And these little browser games are the general kind of games that you can use to... Oh! Oh, goodness! Oh, that's a really pretty accessory for this pet. Oh, that's the, that's based on the, what is it, the Obscured Seraph set? That's like a limited piece of clothing from that. It's like matchy-matchy with your... with the creature's owner. Neat. Cool. Flight Rising is supposed to have an adventure feature come out eventually, but they're working on it. It's been on the back burner for years now, and they're still like they had to like recode the entire site, like basically the minute it came out, and they're still not done with it. And this game is just turned 10 this year. It's wild. And you can see why, because they only expected like maybe some people to play. And then, instead of seeing, like, 800 people a day, it was, like, 1,200. And ever since then, it has ballooned to regularly see 4,000 people a day. So, yeah. And rightfully so, because the dragons are fucking pretty. Okay, yeah, baby needs snack. The art is good. Oh yeah. Arl, he has your name. I think I accidentally named him after you, because I started this in like 2013 and I didn't really know you as well, but it was just like a name that stuck in my head after a while. Ba-da-ba-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-da. And these games, like, are fun for setting, like, super long-term goals to build the prettiest thing you can. You been getting into Minecraft? Oh, nice! I want to get back into Minecraft, too, but I would also like to show some on the channel, and I don't know if I should get back into it at the same time as I start showing it on my channel or not. Because I still got, other shit to do off stream. And I can't play too many video games. Like, I already played quite a few. And I don't want to overload myself. And these sort of relaxed sort of pet games are like a slow, inexorable march kind of progress. Whereas... and like you can put a little bit towards it every day. Whereas others, you can just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. And, like... with these, I can also multitask, because they usually don't have too many sounds of their own, so I can also, like, watch videos while I'm doing this. Or, like, pop in, do all the higher or lower guesses. I cannot wait until I hit the achievement where where I've exhausted all of my hourly guesses 250 times. That's an achievement I've been chasing for a bit, because I am a hopeless completionist. Achievements, I was a big into Flight Rising's achievements back when they were, like, first launched, and they weren't that good, and then they had to take them down because they weren't working, and they just reintroduced them this year. What was it? That's under activities. My poison of choice is under games, because once I finish Stuck at the Stump achievement, then all that's left is Fairground Fortune, and I will get that over years of normal play. And as you can see, I'm very close to getting the second to last one. That's 5 million treasure. God, the next one up is 20 million. 20 million treasure, and that's insane. But, like, once again, years of progress. I can just do that. But, like, yeah, Minecraft is the kind of thing where I'll, like, do all the setting up, and I'll, get the game turned on, and pick a version, and generate a world, and then, oh no, 6 hours has passed. And I would gladly put that up on stream. But, like, I have, like, content decisions I want to make about that first. And I'm not sure if jumping back into Minecraft after my years-long hiatus is best seen on stream. I don't know if I should do single player. I don't know if I should do an SMP with my friends. I don't know which friends are okay with showing up on my channel in the event of doing that with my friends. I have brain. My brain is full of many things. If I could pull together a couple, like, friends, either from my internet friend groups or from my IRLs, and we do an SMP together, because, like, they're not necessarily big, also big internet creators, they're just people, they just hang out, and, like, I'm not a big internet creator, I have, like, what, 300, almost 350 subscribers, and not much more than that. I think I had, like, 342 or something. It's small. In the grand scheme of things, I am very small. So, but, I do stream with the intent to be seen, even if I'm just stumbled across for a little while. And my conception of that is, like, some people do not want to be seen, and I want to respect that. Some people want to, like, fade into the background of a chat, of, like, a stream chat, and some people want to be on voice on the stream. And, like, it's a whole thing. Like, I'm weird about my privacy. Some people aren't. Some people are weirder about their privacy than I am. And good for them. I say go for it. But also, that makes me think of, like, okay, so if I have a VTuber avatar, do I, like, make my friends PNG tubers for that? So, like, you can see why I haven't been dipping back into Minecraft. Also because of the whole 2003 throwback. So I've been focusing pretty exclusively, not super duper exclusively, but mostly on NatDeck's Advanced Generation and getting through all the GameCube games I want to play. So I got Kirby Air Ride. I actually, did some Top Ride off stream, and I have, with the power of those 5 blocks and some little bit of elbow grease, I have now finished the entire Top Ride checklist, so I would like to show that to you at some point. Actually, given the circumstances, I could just go ahead and show you right now, if you'll excuse me. Probably not gonna do a whole heck of a lot in regards to, like, in regards to, I'm just gonna show it to you. And then, you gonna do the thing? Hello? Are you? I need to plug in the capture card. Right. Out comes the mouse, in goes the capture. Help me capture. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. I should plug in a control. Probably gonna be like. Is it coming through? Capture card, sing for me. Yeah, there we go. I actually, this afternoon, so, like, yeah, the whole thing, me yelling about, do I want my friends on the stream with me? Do I want to, what kind of preparation would I have to do? First I have to ask their permission and gauge interest, and then I would be like, okay, would you like a PNG tuber so I can put you next to me? Yeah. Check this shit out. Check this shit out, dog. It's done. So what I what I took out was first place while holding hammer, first place while holding fire, and I didn't feel like grinding for ages and ages, and I had exactly as many as I needed. I decided to go ahead and use the block on the 50 multiplayer things, and it gave me purple Kirby, so I played as some purple Kirby. 20 invincible candy items, because I was starting to grind, trying to grab as many invincible candies as I could, just like in races, and I was getting bored of doing it. And then time attack grass, finishing under 28 seconds. I think I picked that earlier because I had just barely done it in 33, and I had already kind of struggled with that, and I wasn't about to struggle even harder, so yeah. Top right is done. I will return on City Try we will get to. I actually want to... This is what you're here for. I know it's what you're here for. And in my heart, it is what I am here for, too. But I do want to fuck around and air ride a little more. I just find it fun to just, like, complete all of Top Ride first. Because, in my opinion, like, even though I think it's underrated, I just say that because, like, it is still unequivocally the most boring of the 3 modes, at least by yourself. You can get away with having some fun in air ride, and I do want to... I had more fun streaming air ride races to y'all. And, of course, City Trial is the real meat of the game. But, haha. Yeah. That's kind of where I am with that. And I think I'll go over that again, Friday night. When I stream more Kirby Air Ride for real. Excuse me again, I'm gonna unplug some shit. And move this stuff back around. Stuff back around. Eat. Wakey wakey. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. Move this scoochoo over there. Does it come back? Does it work? It does! It does. We're back where I started. So yeah, that's just kind of... one of the things I want to do, like, that I've been thinking, like, as you can see in my new, coffee goal on the bottom of the screen, I have decided, like, one of the things that I've just been so charmed by the idea of doing is, playing a whole franchise in chronological order. Or at least the whole main franchise. In case I can't, like, get my hands on a spin-off. I've considered doing it with Sonic, because I have Mega Collection. I don't know when I would do that, but, as you can see from the goal, I'm considering making next spring Pikmin season. Where I just keep doing my thing, but, like, if I can get a job, then I can, then the coffee goal is kind of irrelevant, isn't it? But, if we meet that goal, I can guarantee that in probably March or May. May's good. May's a good month to start Pikmining. Mayflowers. I love the little flower dudes. I love them! My first fan characters were Pikmin. It's a cute game. And seeing the Pikmin fandom rise from the dead in the wake of the 4th game's release, that's cool. Now I have had some concerns about how the fuck am I gonna get Wii U gamepad footage out of that. Apparently Chuck Conroy's made it work. He referenced it having many wires. I don't know if I'm gonna have to mod the hardware or not to make that happen. And I'm not super familiar with that process. So, if I can, like, plug things into existing ports, that would be great. But, Pikmin 3 has, like, a lot more RTS vibes, than other games in the franchise, because you have 3 captains, and you can use the gamepad to draw pathways for them, and they will automatically follow those, and so you can have all your dudes go to different places on the map at the same time, and me figuring out that strategy, I spent a lot of time in that screen, and I would like to show it on stream! But that has the potential to be a pain in the ass. I could probably just, like, film it, figure out some way to hold the camera so that it stays still and also, like, hovers directly over my hands while I'm doing it, and then have the main stream just kind of be up on the screen. And, like, the idea is also important to me because there are certain Wii U games that I would love to stream, but also make pretty heavy use of the gamepad, and I don't even want to touch them if I can't show you the whole thing, you know? Like, I could play Wonderful 101, but there are some things where you go inside a building, and then the activity moves to the gamepad screen, and that gimmick is cool, but it's difficult to capture. It's really difficult to capture. Like, even with the DS shit, I have the DS that I have. That shit had to be modded, and I spent money to have someone else do it for me, and, like, that can get prohibitively expensive, and there was a lot more people dedicated to doing that than for the DS than there was for stuff like the Wii U. Especially because the Wii U was already, like, an HDMI-based console, and a lot of the games that people play are up on the screen, up on the big screen that you can plug into a normal-ass capture card. Shit like that. Ah. I am thinking about maybe perhaps taking a short break from throwback games this October, to finally get off my ass and play Bayonetta 3. So that'll be fun. I didn't play it on launch because there was some shit going down, and I was like, I don't want to do that while this is still hot. I wanna wait a sec, and a year is a good time, and I figured I meant it to be an October playthrough in the first place. So I feel like it's fitting to put it back in October. And then, I mean, if I play some Kirby Air Ride for the rest of August, I could maybe start up... I'm trying to decide between which Friday game I should start next. And I need to decide. I want to decide between Beautiful Joe and Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. And I've decided on playing the GameCube version because not only has I've gotten the GameCube to work with my card, I got the analog converter. And also, I've ultimately settled on the idea that starting a new file on the Wii U would be too depressing, because what they've replaced the Tingle Tuner with is a Miiverse feature, and they didn't provide an update that, like, changed it or anything, so you get this item, which is required for story progression. It's part of the story to go get it, to go rescue Tingle, and you get it, and then it brings you to a Miiverse error. And that's... like, it looks sloppy, and it's also a bummer. It's a huge bummer. And also, I think it'd be really cool to try out the Tingle Tuner, since I actually have the hardware to maybe pull it off this time. I have things to I have a GBA. I have things to hook a GBA up to the GameCube. You can't see me, so you can't see it right now, but I'm vigorously gesturing towards my GameCube. I have been talking a lot. I will take 5 and refill my water, because I am talking enough to make myself thirsty. BRB. Water. I'm back. Big sippy. Yeah, so my current goal on Flight Rising, I've kind of put all of my actual personal goals on a hold in this game. For the express purpose of hunting achievements. And my current big goal in this game is, what is it, under collecting? Yep. Rainy Day Fund 10 million treasure. It's a lot. But I have 7,500,000, which is a ton. I've been doing it by, I've been selling items on the auction house, making more money than I expected, really. It's a good little extra bit of in-game income that I should probably take advantage of more often, because I often hoard sell things, and there are people out there who could use these items. Hi, Trash Lambo, welcome to the stream! I'm just kind of fucking around tonight. Hello? How's our farm doing? Still, cotton's a slow-growing plant in this game. It takes about 5 hours to mature, I think. I'll do some resource clickety-clackety. Oh, wait. I should, I have a chance to do alchemy. I should probably do some. And then pop back over to the farm and back to Flight Rising. Have you heard about how wild the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics were? Oh yeah! Oh yeah! The Sonic the Hedgehog comics go all the way off. It's insane. I didn't fully understand... I got this how I want. I'm gonna lock these so that I don't accidentally misclick on them. I didn't fully appreciate how wild they were. Until I, started reading about them on the wikis when I was, I don't know, maybe 14? Somewhere in my teenage years when I started browsing the wikis. But I knew that they went some degree of wild and were at least reasonably different. I was aware they were different from the games early on, because I had Sonic Mega Collection as a kid. And Mega Collection, among other things, has scans of the Archie comics. You know, it's a lot of the older Archie comics, and I never actually, committed to, reading them, because I think it was just, a few select issues. I don't think it was the whole thing. But, then I read about stuff on the wiki, and found out that, the whole plot about Mobius, and how that works was a whole, it was whole cloth invented by American writers, because they didn't have much of a lore Bible to work with. And like, something called the Genesis Wave. Like, they reset canon inside of the story. And that canon reset, I think that was the Genesis Wave. And I think they did that when the comics changed hands from Archie to IDW. And I've heard that the IDW comics are also very good. Like, a lot of the meat of Sonic's lore. Like, it's not... I wouldn't say it's canon lore, but it's some of the best lore the Sonic franchise has to offer. And it's technically official, even if it's not canon to the main games. Like, kind of like how Kirby spin-offs in other media also had their own canon. Like, they're not immediately relevant to the games. They kind of take place on their own timeline. Since I got so much EXP from that, I'm gonna try to bring IDW Sonic as canon, if Frontiers and some artists are to indicate. I did hear that one of the big guys who works for the IDW Sonic comics was brought on to write Frontiers. So I've heard that resulted in, or had the potential to result in, a higher quality story. I haven't played my copy of Frontiers yet, because once again, I've been trying to decide, whether or not to play the entire Sonic franchise front to back in chronological order, which is an absolutely batshit bullshit. They gave Charmy B brain damage that regressed his mental state to that of a child so that he could be more accurate to his game counterpart? Charmy, no! Oh. Poor Charmy. He didn't deserve that. So didn't suffer as bad as Force's Tails. I don't know if I have a copy of Shadow the Hedgehog. I have my old-ass Sonic games that are actually, like, on consoles. I had GameCube-era Sonic games. So I have Adventure DX, I have Adventure 2 Battle, I have Mega Collection. I got my hands on a copy of Gems Collection recently. That's not one of my childhood games, but it is on the GameCube, so I have one of those. And I have Heroes. And then I just kind of fell off playing Sonic for a while. And then, like, in more recent years, I got, like... It was like a humble bundle full of Sonic shit. So it had, like, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, the recent one. I think it had extra copies of Sonic Adventure. It had, I think it had Sonic Mania. It had Sonic Forces in it. And I was interested in it because I could get Forces and Mania together. Some Sonic games that I hadn't played yet at a reasonable price. I don't know what else it had. I might have had a couple spin-offs that I also don't own. Yeah, I think it might have had Sonic 4 from the fucking WiiWare shop. Yeah, once the Wii era started to roll in, I kind of fell off Sonic altogether. Especially because I started spending a lot more time absorbed in my handheld games. So I wound up, way more invested in Pokemon and Kirby. And I just kind of forgot Sonic existed, because then he started, like, going multi-plat, and Unleashed did come out on the Wii, I remember that. But we never got it. Play Wii Unleashed, it's got less features, worse graphics, and it was almost always FPS. It's 5 FPS. Yeah, so, like, we never had any PlayStations in the house growing up. It was Nintendo, and it was Xbox, and I almost never touched the Xbox. And so yeah, the Xbox was usually what my older sibling would use to play Western developed RPGs, mostly. First, Star Wars, the Old Republic games, the original ones. and then the Elder Scrolls. The writer didn't like Sakurai, so he made it weird on purpose? Okay, so... I think I know what you're talking about. There are multiple different Kirby mangas. There's like 3. And the one me and some... I have one, friend group of Kirby fans. Moretsu Pupupu Hour is, I've heard that's one of, like, the decent ones. Or maybe... No. The one this friend group likes to dunk on for being, like, uncomfortably weird is the one by, Hirokazu Hikawa. And, like, there are just some really unpleasant panels in that one, and I'm not going to elaborate on that. But, there are others. What was it? Manmaru Nikki, I think, was one of the decent ones. Moretsu Pupupu Hour. Manmaru Nikki. Isn't there, like, what? There's, like, a third one, and I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, because I don't keep track of the Kirby comics. Because they all have to be fan-translated, and, like, there is only so much effort I'm willing to go through. Like, I am constantly steeped in a quantity of content that I will never be able to consume in my lifetime, unless I, like, do it full-time and am paid to do so. So, like, I'm caught up enough in just, like, keeping up with my YouTube subscriptions and playing the video games I have that, like, the Kirby comics and novels just aren't really on my radar, for the most part. I read a couple Kirby novel fan translations, and they were cute and all, but they were very obviously children's books. And I look at that, back at that, and I'm like, cool? Nice. I am not the target audience for this. I am going to stick to my own personally far too convoluted world building for the setting, which is based directly on the games, and not much else. But if the Kirby comic you're talking about that's weird because the author didn't like Sakurai is the comic that I'm thinking of, that is wild to me. But also misinformation travels fast in the Kirby fandom, so, like, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna immediately take that as law, because a lot of people will just say shit, and then people believe it, and then tell their friends. In good faith. Like, I'm not talking shit about chat and saying, ooh, chat's chat's messing with me. No, I think people have been, maybe not even people have been messing with chat. Nobody's messing with anyone, actually. I don't think people, because a lot of the people who will, like, spread misinformation about, like, what's canon, what's official, details about the developers and their intentions behind the media, that often tends to be, like, good faith. Like, fans are misinterpreting information in good faith. And it's usually stuff from Japan, because there's, like, a reading comprehension is eh. And people will read something and then maybe get kind of the wrong idea about it because maybe the translation was like a little bit stilted because it didn't translate well to English. We bought a fan translate. Like, a lot of fan translations of games that were never released are passably good. I'm talking about fan translations of developer interviews, which pretty frequently get taken wildly out of context in the Kirby fandom. Did you hear about the canceled Kirby comic where DDD is a gangster who took over Cappytown with his mafia of waddle-doos? I have not heard of that. I am also going to take that with a grain of salt. It sounds wild. Earlier in chat, Trash Lambo, you said, Kirby says the fuck word, it's my new creepypasta. There is a German comic from the 90s where Kirby says shit. Because he's like, he's written as like an adult, film noir detective. It's weird. It's really bizarre. It's that, like, genre of, 90s video game adaptation where, because the characters are not very established in their base text, because there is so little room on the cartridge to do so, people just make wild shit up to fill in the gaps. Oh! You think the German comic, what might have been the one? I think it was in a German Nintendo Power magazine, potentially. I just know the comic where Kirby is a hard-boiled detective and he says shit. That was a comic from Germany. Specifically. He had like a hot human girlfriend and everything. It was weird. Really bizarre. But a lot of shit in the 90s was. It's like Super Mario Bros. Movie 19... When did that movie come out? 93? The original one. Like, the original one? I don't even know if it was the first one. But it's the fucking weird live-action one. Like, that... Well, that movie was completely off the rails canon-wise. And... I've noticed a lot of people saying they really enjoy it in hindsight for how wacky it is. But it definitely shows you. It's a standout example of how batshit, 90s game adaptations were. Just fucking insane. I'm not sure if Captain N is as batshit as some of these other examples I'm rattling off. But also, I'm not an expert on this shit. I would always, like, if I just say shit on stream, I would always encourage you to maybe do a little of your own research. And see if you can back it up. Not on fandom.com, though, because people just say shit there, too. Find additional sources. If you can find their sources, great. And it's an early Nintendo American right before they did the whole no religious references in game thing. What was that early Nintendo? Oh, I know you were just joshing, but I don't think I caught the joke the first time. But, I don't know. Once again, late 90s baby. I became a conscious person in the 2000s. And my understanding of the 90s was, like, hand-me-down shit. And the hand-me-down shit I got was primarily Pokemania. My brothers were huge into Pokemon when Pokemania first hit. And I inherited all of it, and then became insufferable about it. It'd be wild if it were real, though, because that's, like, in the vein of what early video game companies would put out under the table? Under the table. Yeah, they would sometimes just put out weird shit. I mean, I think in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, no, the bit about cancel Kirby comic where DDD the gangster. Wasn't the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the 90s one, the idea about the bros coming through to, like, a city in Dinosaur Land, and Bowser was a gangster there trying to take over? So it's not an unheard of concept. Oh, snap. A bunch of shit. Gotta go to the Exalted Academy. Well, this should be running down in about 30 minutes. Oh, wait, it's 10 o'clock. That means... Do I have another round? Did I already do this hour? No, yes, I have another round. Can't wait to never have to do this again. Although, the habit it's put me into, I'll probably just keep coming back anyway, just on instinct. I don't particularly care if I get anything right, I'm just doing it to get it over with. So the claim that, like, a piece of unfiction is a, like, real lost media is pretty tradition in the unfiction community. I think it's kind of fallen out of favor. I personally would rather avoid such a thing because I have a lot of respect for the lost media community. And, like, I've heard tell of, like, I remember... It's, like, one of the things that a bunch of people got really pissed off at the Game Grumps for was that, they had this game called Soviet Jump Game. And the way they marketed it was, like, a viral marketing, unfiction, ooh, true story. We found this hooked up to a fucking Dendy in a dumpster in Russia or some shit. And, like, it was marketed as if it were real lost media. And then I heard a lot of lost media people get, like, people who actually deal with that shit get really fucking mad when they found out that it was, like, another, like, the Grumps sponsored the develop of this game in the same vein as Dream Daddy. Because they had felt led on. And they thought that this had been an actual really cool discovery. And yeah, I sympathize. Like, it's a pretty neat marketing gimmick. Like, it's very cool in concept to me, but also I can understand if someone's like, holy shit, big discovery, because I respect when we actually do find big and interesting discoveries. And the thing is that, like, if you put a little disclaimer in the corner as, like, this is not actually lost media, this is a work of unfiction, that kind of ruins the magic? Because, like, when you're talking about lost media, if you're trying to pass off a modern fan work in the style of old things as lost media from that era, I feel like that's a little more egregious. Like, at what point does it stop being a cool, fun internet project and start being you are lying to the public? Because unfiction stories, well, they're pretty obvious to spot these days. Because they're presented like, oh, this would be a true story, but then they have a feature of it that becomes, like, obviously supernatural, or have an obvious enough fiction element, and that's a little more typical of unfiction horror stories, where shit goes weird, and a lot of people are, creators of projects like that have started moving towards being a little more upfront about the fact that it's not actually real. Like, so it looks real when you first read it, and then you'll have, like, credits at the end. So, like, you'll see... What was the one that I watched? I watched a Nightmind stream on one recently. What was it? Valle Verde Part 2? Valle Verde? Valle Verde? Yeah. It's the one that's like an N64 type game that's like mostly in Spanish, and there's an AI in there, and it's really fucking well done. And it's beautiful, it's just absolutely spectacular animation and VFX. And, but like at the very end, like it'll do, like, end of volume 2. Thank you to our patrons, in like a cool, understated credits scene. And like the Mandela catalog will end on, tickers like this. It'll end on, story by this person. Thank you to these high-tier patrons. Support us on Patreon if you want to see more. So, like, that medium, like, kinda already has a paradigm within it. But, like, if you say, yeah, I found a piece of lost media, and you make a convincing look-alike, and that convincing look-alike gets people excited, but you never tell them that it's not real, and also it looks like it could be, like, there is a point at which where it becomes a dick move, I think. Which is a bummer, because otherwise the idea is super neat. I don't know, I have, like, weird hang-ups about making shit correctly. And I only want to commit to it if I can really commit to it. Streaming is easy to commit to because I just turn on the camera and I just yell into a mic. And like, I know I didn't quite commit to my usual this week since I canceled Leaf Green episode, just because I wasn't up to it. The reason I wasn't up to it, because I had a tummy ache. Because I ate a whole box of waffles. Like a fucking dumbass. It was... do not do as I do. Not always the best about my self-control. I would like to improve that in the future. And I have some ideas on how. The train of thought has ended. We have reached the end of the tracks. Oh, it's not ready. I did this in another page then. I don't think I've been cooking anything in Pic's Pet. Do I still have any blue experience increasers for you? Oh, yeah, I did. I just don't have... Well, I didn't have the food, but I already had the potion slapped on you, which is cool. Hello, Mario. That famous Hello Mario clip is the thing Magalore Memes is talking about. It's like... I think you can probably just look it up on YouTube, because I think the title is just it might be unlisted, actually. I'm not sure. But it's like The Lost Nintendo Sex Ed Tape. It's exactly what it says on the tin. But because Luigi has just, like, the most generic voice possible, it became a huge meme. Especially because the Mario is trying so hard. It basically goes, my brother Luigi here, it's gonna give you a whole spaghetti heap of information here. Hello, Mario. And, yeah, the contrast got people so good that took off for a bit. world map. I want to see what's up in the world. Do I? I've already done Pascal. Yeah, I have to do playground. Do still these artifacts for the squad. I don't remember this song. What is this song? Try again tomorrow. Is that the game over theme? Oh, that must be the failure theme for the arena, because it's all arena music. We made it to the arena music part of the soundtrack. I gotta head out. See ya! Thanks for hanging. I know this is a more laid-back night than usual, but thanks for showing up anyway. Yeah. I have dudes that are ready. Yeah, I have dudes ready to go. Money. We're now up to 7,600,000. Ever closer. Ever closer, ever further. Widget. Okay, I'm looking at stuff about... I put chat in my overlay. But I don't stream from Twitch. I stream from YouTube. Probably not going to end up starting any new pet sites tonight. Probably just play the ones I have and continue rambling into the ether, into the endless dark. Bing, ba-ding, ba-ding, bing. Because doing mindless things is easy to talk over than most. Ba 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 bing ba 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 da ba bing. Ba da 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 da. I think I got myself a little fucked up. A little too enthusiastic. My speed demon strategy. Ah, see? I could have done it, pointed it down. And now I have to be deliberate about it. I could have done that, but I didn't. So then I had to do it again. And also, since chat is able to pop up, like, in OBS, for me, automatically, it shouldn't be that hard. The only reason I haven't done it is because I've been spending all this time doing research. And the research is more daunting than the actual thing, because then I have to find out which method I want to use, because there's no one accepted method. This is the theme of Kirby's house, right? This is just greens. Oh yeah, it has a little jazz improvisation version of the theme. And I always love it when the Kirby musicians get up to shit like that. Yes. More licks. More wacky drum fills, please. I'm enjoying it very much. Thank you, Mr. Ando. Thank you, Mr. Ishikawa. There we go. A little more space to breathe for all of my pieces. Not everything in OBS Studio needs a plugin to add convenient features. Stream chat. Window of your audience is baked right into OBS Studio out of the box. You don't need a separate window open, it makes more efficient use of it. Every current platform can do this with OBS. Is this just how to add it so I can see it? Because I can already do that. That happened automatically. What's everyone been working on? I've been working on coding a thing that randomizes vocal training exercises and instructions because... still feminizing voice. What about you all? Ooh. Randomizes vocal training exercise and instructions. You're working on your voice. Neat! As far as projects go, I think I mentioned earlier, yeah, I think that I might have said this before you came in, Trash Lambo, but, I have a commission that I've been working on for a friend. The long and short of it is, she commissioned me to design the final boss of a Dungeons & Dragons campaign that she has been working very hard on and been running for a long time. Like, big, long-ass campaign, I think multiple years. And, like, these characters have been very significant for a long-ass time, so it's very special. Because she trusted in... Excuse me. She trusted in my ability to make a properly regal, properly... not super eldritch, but... starting to lean into Final Fantasy final boss territory. Not quite as grotesque, but in that direction. And once I finished that, like, I think I started that back in spring, and I've been working on it, like, very slowly, because it's a big... because I had to design the character from scratch, so we did a lot of back and forth, talking, and then I did, like, a very rough sketch, and then I pushed out of doing the actual final sketch for, like, a month. And then had to slowly pull my brain back together so that I could actually work on it, and... she set the deadline. I don't think she did this on purpose, but she set the deadline for my birthday, which is ironically kind of perfect. Because that means, like, big turning point. That's gonna be fun. Because I'll be turning 25! And I guess it's a big milestone, quarter century. I can claim to have a quarter-life crisis now. And, hit like that. So, like, having that, like, basically, if I consider my upcoming birthday, like, a big turning point for myself, then finishing a big project before that will feel really nice. Oh, your birthday's tomorrow! Happy early birthday! But yeah, the day before my birthday, last year my birthday fell on a Friday, which was very convenient, because I was just getting started streaming, so I was kind of grasping for ideas. And, because my birthday landed on my variety stream day, I was like, ah, fuck it, I could stream on my birthday. So now, my birthday is the Saturday after a Friday, and that Friday, August 18th, Kirby lore stream. I think I made a community post about it. I saw a couple likes on it, so some of y'all have seen it. And, it'll be kind of like an art stream. Basically, I'm just gonna be fielding questions about my Kirby headcanon, and I'm gonna have... I think I'll pull up Clip Studio Paint and use it as, like, almost kind of like a teacher's whiteboard. And if I need visual aids for that kind of thing, I will be doodling. I'll probably, like, be pulling up wiki pages from Wikirby, for official art and canon materials. And, showing you, like, where I got started, what parts of my thing match canon, what parts of my thing cover the things where there is no canon to begin with, what parts of canon I flat out ignore because I had worked so much on building a thing and then a game came out that contradicted it. Shit like that. And also I can be a very visual person, so a lot of my headcanons can be about, like, the speculative biology of the various species of the universe. And I can get, like, a general doodle sketch. I might doodle some phylogenetic, taxonomy trees. I might doodle little puffballs in the corner to demonstrate what they can look like, or what have you. Just shit like that. Brain is full. I love Kirby so much. It's great. It's good. It's great. Speaking of Kirby, I've been playing Kirby Air Ride on Fridays. I'm playing Kirby music right now. I've played a couple Kirby games. What do you say? I do have Kirby fan dragons on Flight Rising. Not a lot, but I have a couple. Zero was my first. This dragon is a whole ass 9 years old. I got him pretty much as soon as I can. And then more and more, like, stuff came out. Like, they came out with a light element halo that I could give to him. They came out with the Venom scale set, and there was a tail guard, and I was like, I know who I'm putting that on! And I gave him a mate, so if they have kids, they have, the parents will come out to 0-2. And I have a couple Mario ones, too. But yeah, it's mostly Kirby. I've got Kirby and Ribbon. I'm actually planning on getting a replacement Ribbon and selling this dragon as something else, because she is an unbred Generation 1 7-digit dragon. She's 9 years old. Like, oldies sell well. And I think now that there was a color expansion, some ways back in Flight Rising's history. It might have been like a 2014-2015 affair. And, I think there are colors on the color wheel now that fit some of these Kirby characters better than, some of the ones I have. I'm keeping this, do I want to keep this Kirby? Because he's also, yeah, he's also unbred, and unbred and old are often highly valued traits. So I could just start over with some of these, fan dragons. I have a Magolor. Magolor took me a long-ass time to breed. He's not going anywhere, even though he is also old. And also, because he was a breeding project, like, I spent, I don't know how long it was, but I went to the Light Flight, to breed this dragon. And the way things worked out, when I finally got the color combination that I wanted, I named this dragon's parents after my headcanon names for Magolor's parents. Like, these are what I actually call them in my headcanons, Toralor and Navidalon. I did not Oh, someone still had Navidalon. That's fantastic. Oh! Bonus to Xerxes, Texas toast. Did I rent? I must have rented nests from people, actually. Did she just never give her back? Yeah, one of his siblings is named Energy Sphere as an Exalt. Ira. But yeah, that's a fun little deep cut. I didn't... That's interesting. I think I directly exalted Toralor from my lair. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened there. I was very pleased. I had Mark's fan dragons prior to the release of the crystal and facet gems. So I was very excited when facet came out because he gives a crystal texture. It's perfect for what Mark's is. He's got crystal wings. Do I want to keep doing mates for my fan dragons? I'm not sure. Dementio's a standalone Smario character. My Necrodius dragon is a standalone. I named him Necros, with the idea being, like, in my headcanon, that's his real name, and Necrodius is, like, a title he took on in, like, when, like, taken by Eldritch Madness. It's a long-ass story. We'll get to it. But yeah, I gave him the Somber Spirit and named him Skullseer, because he looks like one of the Skull Gang. And then I have fan dragons of the 3 Matters from Kirby 64. Just because I had a pairing of 2 dragons who are pure triple obsidian dragons. And I don't know if I still want the Matter dragons, but it is a cool excuse to have these guys, because Reamer is a great excuse to have the Raven Sylvan set, which is it's a SWIP exclusive set. Yeah, Grim Healer set, that's fun. I'm not sure if I don't know. Yeah, originally I was going to start a hatchery, which is why they all have mates, but I'm not sure about that anymore. I don't think I will. I don't know if I ever settled on wanting to regene lore or not. The lore Starcutter dragon I have. Do I have any records? It does not look like I do. I think I settled on Star Map and Circuit being great, and Seraph lets you get that color layering that sort of reminds you of the wings on the actual lore Starcutter. One of these days, it either already exists. There's got to be someone out there who's taken a gear, like who's made an accent for Pearl Catcher males, where the pearl is a gear. But I might make one for myself, because the idea being, like, you can't really do copyrighted themes in skins and accents to protect. It's like a legal liability thing for the website. But I'd just make it a gear. Then that shouldn't be terrible. That can go on any dragon. And it would just happen to look like Magalore with the combination of the white jacket and everything else. I still want to get a hood for him. I haven't gotten a hood for him. And the hood that I wanted at the time, because he's an old-ass dragon, and then I forgot about it. Hang on. Twice dyed cowl. Actually, wait. Yeah, dressing room. I can go to the dress... That's the search. I can go to the dressing room, dress a dragon. Dress a dragon. Get your ass in here, Mags. Import? Because I figured... But twice dyed cowl is actually a limited item. And it looks good on him. It gets the vibes right. But I imported the apparel twice. It's there are other hoods that I could probably get away with. But, like, I think the twice-dyed cowl looks the best on him. There's the bright rogue hood, and then there's the woeful hood. Because there's, like... The woeful hood is more like a wrap, and it covers his mouth. And it makes sense to cover his mouth. I could always do that. But, like, this is the most, like, obvious hood of the hoods. Are there any hooded cloaks that would... Look at the Cosmos, maybe. Because that's new. There are some of these... I haven't actually fully thought through some of the new... Some of the new apparel that's available to me. So, twice-dyed cowl, it would be a pain in the ass to get. A blue dragon cloak covers too much of him. It's cute, but it does not meet, it's not fit for purpose. This, the shade of blue is too dark. But then again, kind of so is the twice-dyed cowl. But it's not as dark. It's a little more Magalory. The Cloak of the Cosmos also has the benefit of being a recolor of arcane festival gear. And while this Magalore is a light dragon, he would very much, if he were an actual Light Rising dragon, he would absolutely be in on the arcane shit. I chose light to match his eye color. I have to get him a Cloak of the Cosmos, because that would be a lot easier for me to get. It does mean that it would, like, because I can't put it over the things, because then it covers everything else. And his scarf is supposed to go over the hood, which, and the cape, the white cape also goes over that, so it'd have to go underneath Mage's Ivory overcoat. But, like, with this, even with, the banners on the shoulder hanging down below it, I think that could pass for decent. I just think, like, because it's designed to look good standalone. And the scarf does peek through the hood a little bit. Yeah, I think that could be doable. Kinda wish it, like, came up more, maybe covered his mane a bit. They just let the mane pop right through, and I don't think that looks good on pearl catchers as much. I think they should... I don't understand the point of a mohawk hole, aside from not bothering to draw over it. I mean, I know the admins work really hard, because they're constantly making new art assets. And it's a lot, and I get it. But, like, I just think about it sometimes. Sometimes they let the mains pop through, sometimes they don't, and it's kind of inconsistent as to which one they'll do. And it can be a little immersion breaking. But I also understand that they need to get a ton of these art assets out fast, because otherwise the membership will explode. Honestly, with the release of achievements, I could just keep going for ages and not give a shit. They also just released Sand Surge Dragons, too. So, that's a thing that exists. I have one Sand Surge. They're another gem breed, which means they're difficult to obtain. And I'm still working on the 10 million treasure goal. My whole idea is that I want to hit the treasure goal, and then I'm going to spend it all the way. I want to spend all of it. But I would like to maybe max out my lair slots using money. Both for achievement's sake and just for, like, the vibe of completing it. Because I've wanted to do that from, like, a completionist standpoint since before achievements were a thing. But I wonder if I should wait until the Arcane Flight is dominant so that I can get a discount on it. Because that's how dominants work. You, like, you try to out-exalt all the other flights on the site, which are like, clans your account is assigned to, and you always have to pick one. And I am a true blue Arcanite. So, if, like, Starfall season is coming up. So, if I know, if we're not, like, shooting for a dominance push anytime soon, then I can always wait for the Arcane Holiday. Because it is tradition on the site to let the flight whose holiday it is win dominance that week. So that they are dominant during the week of the festival. It's cute, it's fun. It's like a... It's not even technically enforced by the gameplay, it's just something users agree on. But there's still, like, whole events, like, I poke into my notifications, and I'm on ping lists for, dominant stuff, and this is the official Starfall 2023 planning thread. They're doing plans, they're doing user-made events, and I don't usually participate in those. I tend to just fuck off and do my own thing. But, I think it's cool that they do exist. Did I plant any corn? I think I did. How long has it been? Oh, it's wheat. Harvest in 14 minutes. Alright. Alright. My seeds are done drying. Go ahead and scavenge using the energy I regained. Wanna look at pond again? Yeah, I get pond drops again. Sweet. What is it? Did it like tick over exactly? Maybe. I don't know. Back to the farm so I can refresh it whenever, and... to regain all my breath meter again. Add stream chat to OBS Studio. Any feature service will pop out chat. Pop out chat, pop up chat, window pops up, copy the URL, go to the view menu, doc name, give chat a memorable name. No, that automatically happens. I don't need to do that. Dockable window. I don't need a dockable window. I already have those. It's docked automatically. So I can just ditch this article entirely. Entirely. Whew. I missed. But Nyla, you were supposed to use that breath. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, they're just gonna kill me. I do have enough for an eliminate, so I might actually be able to make this. Yeah. From the jaws of defeat. I'll heal. What's up in Land of Sylvie's artifacts? How much further can I go? Because I can play this shit. I've gotten up to, like, I don't think I've ever gotten above 4096, but I've gotten as high as 4096. It's a 2048 knockoff. Turns out I didn't have to be gone as long as I thought I did, so you're back now. Hello, welcome back! It's good to have you back. I'm still fucking around on all of my browser games, as usual. Ugh. I need to play twice. I need to play twice in order to finish the quest I wanted to finish. Ugh. Alright. 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 You heard that people have managed to mod multiplayer into Breath of the Wild? What? Modders are a different breed, dude. That's wild. I respect it, though. That's because Breath of the Wild is aggressively single player. So that's impressive that people have been working on it that hard to do shit like that. That's so cool. Is it just multiple links? Or is there like a, is it like a drop-in, drop-out co-op where someone plays as Wolf Amiibo Link or something? I mean, Tears of the Kingdom isn't that different from Breath of the Wild. It reuses a lot of mechanics, but I imagine it does a ton of coding tune-ups to make sure all of the new shit runs well on the Switch. So I don't actually know if there's going to be, if the tune-ups would affect it in any significant way that would, require significant changes on the mod maker's behalf. But if it's not that many tune-ups, then yeah, hypothetically that could happen pretty damn quickly. Especially, like, Breath of the Wild's probably easier to get started on something like that, because, the game's older, and it has a more active mod base already. So people are already familiar with the existing code and can figure out what works for that specific game. Now, all it remains to be seen is whether Tears of the Kingdom shares enough code assets, in addition to visual assets, such that that would be possible to port between games, because that's very impressive. Is it local multiplayer, online multiplayer, or both? Because I imagine online multiplayer would require its own whole-ass mod. They'd have to, like, build the netcode from scratch, I imagine. I don't know the science of the mod, but I've seen people messing around in it. Yeah, I mean, multiplayer Breath of the Wild seems very much like a messing around kind of thing. It also seems like the kind of thing you would have to do on a modded Switch that's, like, just modded to run better. Because I feel like a single Switch would fucking shit itself if it had to render 2 different locations in Hyrule at the same time. You think it's online multiplayer? Interesting. Wild. Don't post any links or the Nintendo Ninjas will get it. Don't forget the Steam Deck. What, did they get it on? What about the Steam Deck? That they got Zelda to run on the Steam Deck? They built a platform in the sky, jumped off, and had a battle royale. Where we dropping, boys? You can mod on the deck. Can you mod Nintendo games on the deck, is what I'm saying. Steam is a lot friendlier to the modding community than Nintendo is. Nintendo's just very about all of that. Modifications, anything remotely piracy adjacent. They probably flip they probably flip their shit over emulators. I mean, legally in the US they can't flip their shit over emulators as long as the emulator developers tell you not to pirate shit. And like only rip your own games. Although at this point, some of the emulators I'm interested in the most, Citra and Dolphin, I'm interested in less for the purposes of piracy and more for the purposes of ripping my own games to see them in new contexts. Mostly because sometimes piracy can be risky. Because it's illegal, you have to go to shady sites and you can risk getting viruses and shit from that. It's a pain in the ass. And they get taken down all the time because it's illegal. Because they get taken down, they get replaced, and the ones that replace them faster tend to be the ones with more viruses and shit. Or the scammier ones, or what have you. So, like... And also, I've just been learning to love fucking around with hardware and software like that in general for, like, my own purposes. So, like, I'd love to learn how to rip my own shit just to have that knowledge. Video of the mod has been removed by Nintendo, but someone re-uploaded it. Yup, that's how it goes. Nintendo will probably take that one down too, but it's the thing, like, where piracy is a hydra and you chop off one head and 20 rise to replace it. And that's what was I talking about with, shady piracy websites. But, like, yeah. A million heads will rise to replace the one that was cut off. But at the same time, in regards to software piracy, and media piracy, I should be more specific. Software and media piracy, they're roughly in the same vein. Internet piracy. Like, if a place goes down, the places you turn to after that tend to be riskier. Because, like, it's hard, like, I feel like a place that's less obnoxiously virusy or scammy or what have you is going to become very highly used because it will gain a word-of-mouth reputation for being safer to use. And the more people know about it, the more people tell each other about it, the more people know about it. And some of those people might be the legal teams of the media owners who will roll in and do their cease and desist and DMCA shit, and then the site goes down, and there's no guarantee that the next one will also be safe. Or if you even know where it is, it just kind of... Such is the way of life on the internet. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, I'm not your dad. Just be safe. Research an antivirus for your machine. That's just generally good practice no matter where you go. no matter what you're doing on the internet. Mario Odyssey multiplayer hide-and-seek videos look like you're still okay. Good! They tend not to stay that way for long. I think Nintendo's touchier about a lot of this stuff because it's on modern systems. Have they ever gone postal on videos that were, like, for mods of old shit? Because in my experience, Pokemon randomizers seem to be safe. And mods and ROM hacks of older shit is less actively policed than stuff that is modification on the Switch. Especially if that modification can happen, like, on the hardware and not just, like, in a ripped ROM in an emulator. I feel like emulators are a safer environment for modding in general. Because, if you start modding and shit on your actual hardware, Nintendo can do shit like ban you from Nintendo Switch Online if you're not careful, in which case, like, turn off your internet connection, dingus. But, like, there are legitimate concerns about pirating stuff that can be legally obtained right now. And there are legitimate concerns about cheating in online multiplayer games that currently have an active real player base. But, like, Nintendo will go after whatever. Even if it seems like it would be something that's more above board than other things seem. There's one... I think it was a guy named Moon Channel. He did a video that was like, God, I can't remember what the dollar amount was, but some guy got for, like, a Switch modding service. And the reason I think he mainly got is because the small company that had been set up, like, they were profiting off of it. They were making money off of it, and that is significantly more egregious than doing it for free. Because at that point, you are stealing and making money off of someone else's work. Whereas the other stuff is just not paying for a product that also doesn't reduce the supply of that product. So it's a little different from, like, theft of a physical object, and it's also different. A little different from theft of... It legally counts as theft of the intellectual property. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a lawyer. I think piracy's whole deal is that it's, like, an intellectual property thing. As opposed to, like, a larceny thing. Shit's complicated. The law's complicated, man. But yeah, the piracy is, like, slightly different flavored because it does cut into their profits, but, well, profits schmoffits. Sometimes pirates will also be the biggest customers of something, and they'll just be pirating shit they can't get their hands on otherwise. The people who pirate specifically to save money technically never had that money to spend on that shit in the first place. But, like, it's not like there's one less copy of the game to sell, is what I'm trying to get across. It was kind of like a different flavor of stuff. It tends to get significantly skeevier when you are, 1, making a profit off of it, or 2, trying to take credit for something you didn't do. And both of those are, like, morally scummy. And, like, the law is related to that. I think the whole point of copyright is literally, this is my OC, do not steal. And, like, it's copyright, the right to copy. So that you can profit off of your creative endeavors. But, kind of gotten away from that in recent decades. But, like, the original purpose of it is, like, built in there. And I think it's good for artists to be able to copy, to, like, make money off of their creative labor, because art is an important thing to have in the world, and it's important to encourage people to make art. Like, I don't know. We live in a society. Right now, I feel like we live in a scenario where a lot of people are discouraged from making art and are choosing to make it anyway out of defiance. I feel like a lot of those are people who are already artists. Because once you are already, like, a capital A artist, like, it's in your lifeblood, and, like, once you're that deep into the hobby, you cannot let it go, because it's a part of you now. It's a way you express yourself. It's a way that you talk and communicate. And there will be people who, like, refuse to stop creating on principle and will, like, have high philosophical ideas about the nature of art and what good it brings the world. Because I do believe art is, like, an objective good for humanity, because, like, humans got a lot of feelings, and art is a great way to express them. And express them in a way that raw descriptive language can't always do. Fancy descriptive language can do it, but I would also like to, specify that that is very much also its own form of art, literature. Something, we have been drawing the moment we had hands. That's why cave paintings are a thing. I've heard theories that the reason we have cave paintings is not because people chose to paint in caves, but because people would paint everywhere, and the ones in the caves are just the ones that survived, because they were protected from the elements. People do be drawing, though. Anyway, yeah, I would like to profit off of my creative output in this hellscape of a world for the purposes of supporting myself so I can continue to create, because I enjoy creating, that it's just a feature of my existence and it's not gonna go away. And the only reason I wouldn't do it is if I run out of time to do it, because I'm too busy doing other things that I need to do to afford to survive. And copyright serves that purpose. But, as usual, stuff that is nominally good for the individual can often be exploited by corporate entities. Unfortunately. Honestly, that's probably my biggest beef with Disney. Because it's technically their fault that copyright is the way it is right now, because they did a lot of government lobbying, multiple times, because with the express purpose of keeping Steamboat Willie, the first appearance of Mickey Mouse, from going into public domain, so that Mickey Mouse is not technically a public domain character, and they keep doing that every time that approaches, and, like, they try to, like, stave it off every 20 years or so. And that's why the current period for the protections of copyright keep getting longer and longer and longer. But this also has the consequence of making everything else from that era never enter the public domain. So the public domain stagnates, which could be tied back into criticisms of Disney's current media output and how they're so remake focused and remake obsessed, because one, they want to play it safe and they don't want to don't want to take any risks, and two, a lot of their big hits from back in the day are all based on old public domain fairy tales, and they mined the shit out of them for as many things as they could, and now they can't really do that anymore because of their own legal actions. There's nothing new entering the public domain for them to be inspired by, so they have to make up stories whole cloth. And you can make up stories whole cloth. And there has been I've heard about some decent Disney output. I don't remember. Turning Red kind of came and went. I didn't go see it. I just don't go see movies, so I can't really offer genuine opinions on half of this shit. I heard Luca is a couple years old now, but I heard that was good. I heard it was a solid movie. And it's because, like, it's an original concept. It's a couple of sea monster boys go undercover in a human village. That's a cool concept. Elemental came out much more recently. Cool concept. But I'm not gonna say cool concept, probably not as cool as some of the other concepts that I've mentioned as being cool. The concept was fairly basic because it was just like, oh, what if Thing had feelings? It's the usual, like, it's the Toy Story formula again. It's with, like, the 4 classical elements: earth, wind, fire, and water, except repurposed as a framework for an immigrant story. And that's cool. And they even made a conlang for it, and I lose my goddamn mind over conlangs. So I might find out a way to watch that, get my hands on a copy or a ticket sometime. I don't think it's in theaters anymore. Maybe get it on demand or something. But, I'll watch it just from the conlang. But I've heard that it was like it flopped, and it flopped at the box office. It was a box office bomb. And I'm not sure why that was. Either the message didn't quite resonate, maybe it was too heavy-handed, or maybe it was just... I remember it being advertised poorly. Like, it just wasn't fucking marketed. And that's why it flopped, and then they started marketing it in a weird way. Like, in a weird and off-putting way. Like, trying to take advantage of, like, social media vibes in a very how do you do, fellow kids kind of way. And you know how that turns out. That tends to be disastrous. Have I seen the Mario movie yet? No. I will say, when I say I just don't really go and see movies, I mean it. I'm not going to the theaters for pretty much anything. And I think movies are fun. But as far as I'm concerned, a theater experience isn't worth the investment of my time and money. For the most part, unless it's like an event I go to with my friends. But that becomes a whole thing that I need to plan. And me and all my friends live fucking miles apart, so you can only go see so many things. And it was way easier to do it when we were all in college and lived in the same general vicinity, so we got to go see the Sonic movie together, and that was loads of fun. But yeah, that's kind of like, I feel like of any of the movies that I would want to go see, the Mario movie would have been one. Because it looks cute and fun. But also, like, I'm generally not in a movie-going mood most of the time. Like, I think I mentioned this earlier, like, it ties back into me being, like, so inundated with content all of the time. It's out on DVD now. Oh, okay. Well, that's convenient. I could probably pick that up. I wonder if people still do DVD rentals. I wonder if that's still a thing. Can't imagine it'd be a bad thing to have on DVD, though. Oh, I still need to play one more time. Oh boy. But yeah, I feel like I'm still trying to get through a bunch of free shit, like YouTube videos and stuff that I still haven't seen, like, even when it comes to, like, not just boring content that fills the background noise. I'm also talking about, like, genuine artistic projects, like, I'm a fake fan, I still haven't seen In Space with Markiplier. Fake fan! I just haven't set aside the time to do it. Another thing I want to watch, I don't know if it's Source Filmmaker or Gmod, but it's like apparently it's a really good, like, dramatic film called Emesis Blue. I want to see that. What else? I do want to get through my backlog of YouTube bullshit in my watch later, which is dumb, thoughtless content, but some of it's, like, interesting video essays, and I love me a good, interesting video essay. And I have been, like, trying to wipe out the dumb background noise stuff while doing other things, so I can say that I've done things. I just live under the constant shadow of my own desire to be productive at all costs. Not at all costs, but, like, it feels good when I get things done, but it always feels like I'm never done, and that there is always more to do. More things that I want to do, more things that I feel like I need to do before I die, for, like, personal fulfillment reasons. Things that I need to do, or else I will die, like eating and sleeping, and, earning the money I need to do those things. And, like, there's just not enough time in the day for any of it. Or anything. I just keep getting bogged down in my own schedule, and sometimes I get so overwhelmed by my own shit that I will, just kind of shut down and then, like, do nothing for the day. But I never truly do nothing. I'm always doing something, even if it's just fucking around and playing these dumb little pet games that I like to play, because they give me that nice little, they have repeating goals every day, and they have long-term goals I can set my mind to, and I can make these little blips and blops of progress as I go along, and it can be relatively mindless and low effort. So I can squeeze that in and feel like I'm actually making progress between the bigger things, which feel like they might not bear fruit, even though they're a little more important. I had a weird thing recently where it was like a suspicious job offer. It was like, it sorta kinda turned out to be a scam, and it was just like, it's just a waste of my time. Like, it's a huge bummer, because it's a thing that I actually want to happen. Because I want to work to make money, to go live with my friends, and feel like I'm moving forward in life. And then here comes some chuckle fuck faking it. Like, bitch, I just want to be paid to punch numbers into a screen. Whether that's fucking web page code, or fucking payroll stuff. I just need, but like then, like that's such a, the job search is such a treadmill. It is so slow, it can be so arduous, it can be so demoralizing. And especially for, like, people of my specific neurotype. Because, like, it's boring as shit, unless you find, like, a few really good positions and the applications are open and you're like, ooh, I could do that. And then you apply to them, and then but then they never get back to you or whatever. You just slowly cry inside because it never fucking goes anywhere. Because you have to be putting out, like, 100 applications a week in order to get a single bite that's worth anything. I don't know. Adulting is hard. Not a fan. Wish I didn't have to. Which is nice, because then I can, like... Sometimes I feel like streaming can be like that a little bit, where it's like, oh, I have another obligation. And that is, like, if I'm feeling like that deep in a rut over it, and I'm like, about streaming, then I will call off that night. I have done that a couple times, where I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm not feeling so hot. I'm gonna cancel until next time, or I'm gonna postpone, or I'm just really not up for it. And, like... But there are nights where, like, I'm enthusiastic to get started. Honestly, my mood can change on a dime, really. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to manage. Because sometimes I'm, like, all in on something the night before, and then when it's actually time to go do it, I'll be like, I don't feel like doing it anymore. The unfun brain sauce. What the fuck am I... What is my next move here? I think this is my next move here. Oh, yeah. Better. Much better. And, like, one of the reasons I talk about, like, getting a day job and bitching about the job hunt and stuff like that is because if I fully commit... Like, right now, the streaming is like a side hustle. It's not really a side hustle, because I'm not hustling. It's like somewhere between a side hustle and a hobby. Like, I accept donations, but it's pocket change right now. It's not anything significant. And I don't have the subscribers to monetize. So, that's not something I can't, like, rely on. A reliable income of, like, maybe a couple bucks a month. Oh, I can rely on that, but that's from my Ko-fi subscriptions and not from YouTube AdSense or anything. But one of the reasons I'm not as interested in committing to this whole thing as my full-time job is because I feel like in order to do so, it would damage the quality of my content. Not to a severe degree, because I just kind of fuck around and do whatever. But, like, I have heard that, like, every fucking thing, every company that's willing to sponsor a YouTuber, like, their products are just shit. Raycons are not as cool as they say they are. I've heard weird shit about Helix mattresses. Weird shit. Have I heard it about Helix mattresses or just online mattresses in general? BetterHelp is a fucking train wreck. The food ingredient delivery services are kinda iffy. I'm not sure if they're kinda iffy or what. I saw someone bundle them into a list or something. And I can't, I can't verify other shit, like, I've seen other shit around, but, like, I can plug my own shit all day long, you know? Like, if it's something I made, I can go, look at this thing! Please, look at this thing, I made it, and I'm super proud of it, because then I can be enthusiastic about it on my own terms, and the enthusiasm is real because I did the thing, and I am proud of doing the thing, on top of any, like, necessity to, get the word out there to an audience. So, like, if I sold a piece of merch, I would be like, holy shit, this merch exists. That's something I can be proud of. Speaking hypothetically for the future, I don't have any merch yet. Alas, alas. Alas and alack. Ah, I'm gonna... What the fuck is wrong with this page? Oh goodness, it's matrix colored. Interesting. But, where was I going with this? I personally find it harder to market for other people unless I can fully believe in the product, you know? I could probably, like, accept, like, a fucking energy drink or supplement sponsor. But, like, I feel like those guys only go for the big ones. Like, the kind of people who are big enough to name flavors after and shit. I don't know how long ago Critical got his G Fuel sponsorship, but, like, he has his own flavor. It's delicious, too. It's a peach flavor. It's nice. I like it. But also you have to be like, ooh, do I want to have energy drinks? Do I want to bother with the caffeine? Like, that's not always right for everyone. But I feel like when it's like something like that, I feel like you can make a more informed decision about it. Because it's like, this is a delicious thing that is an energy drink. And here's how it gives you energy. Go buy it with my code if you want. But then I hear shit about other things, like, straight up not, like, other parts of their, like, some of it, like, almost feels like maybe not false advertising, but, like, advertising will not mention the defects and flaws of the product. And if you're, like, not hunting down actively that which could contradict the good name of the company. And, like, there's the whole contractual obligation of, like, being woo, woo, woo. Because, like, in order to get sponsored, you have to sign a contract. And because when you sign a contract, you have to say certain things. You can, if you're big enough, you can throw your weight around a little bit. Like, I've heard that, I'm also subscribed to Kid Icarus, and he has mentioned in his videos, like, he has this dumb fuck little character named Sponce, who is a kite with a face, and it's really dumb. It's so dumb. He just puts his face through, like, a little paper kite, and has, like, little fake feet glued onto it, and he sticks his fingers through holes in it, and wiggles his fingers around, and he does that in front of a green screen. God, can you imagine garlic-flavored fucking G Fuel? That'd be disgusting. I don't think... That's repulsive, in my mind. Like, it makes logical sense, because I go, ah, yes, hello, I am Xerxes Texas Toast. So if someone wanted to make a food product with my likeness as, like, a sponsor deal or some shit, then something buttered toast or garlic bread flavored stands to like, that they make sense? But God, I don't think savory flavors work well in liquid form. Not a fan. Can't say I'm a fan. I don't know, man. Now, if you wanted to slap my face on, like, an actual, like, toast, like, if it's just bread, I could probably handle that. That could probably work. If I get famous, you need to make a toaster that burns your logo into the toast. See, that would be funny. That could be cute. That's also a really hyper-specific kind of merch that requires a lot of R&D and shit. And of course, you also have to have, like, settings, because an unevenly toasted piece of bread can be a little bit weird. Like, it also has to taste good. The resulting toast has to be sufficiently toasty. But that's the whole thing, because, like, I don't want to flood my VODs with ads. Because I've heard YouTube ads are just getting worse. They're just getting nastier. They're getting longer and more unskippable, and that's annoying, and I don't think that's very cool. And before I put any... I'd need to know what kind of control I can have over the ads on my videos. before I, like, even put an ad on there. Like, if you start seeing ads on my VODs and shit, most likely you will see post rolls. But because post rolls, like, this shit that is less annoying and less invasive also makes you less money. So I would be turning down cash in order to make my fucking YouTube shit more tolerable. But also, like, if I put ads on stuff and someone with YouTube Red rolls up, then I get that revenue when they don't see any ads. But also, I'm not about to advertise YouTube Red. That's a choice you get to make. You decide what works for you and your budget. That's the thing, I don't, there are some things that I just don't feel right. Like, I kind of have an adversarial relationship with advertising, which is why I'm not super enthused about wholly relying on advertising for a paycheck for a YouTube career. Because you hear enough horror stories about content creator burnout, and you're like, yeah, okay. But right now, I'm doing this for fun. Primarily for fun. I also do it for, like, a little bit of pocket change. But, like, if I can totally pivot... Not pivot. I'm not pivoting if I start there. But, the idea of, like, members-only content, which I need to fucking do. More VIP streams. Even if it's just one every once in a while. Because right now, I have a VIP subscription, which is available via my Ko-fi. But and it's like, oh yes, you can see things that other people don't see, but then I don't put out the stuff to see. That's not fair of me. There are a couple VODs you can go and watch back. But I should do more if I want to make that, like, justifiable. And if I start streaming, like, consistently, then yeah, I can start pushing that and say, hey, there's shit you're missing if you don't join this little thing. It's only X dollars a month. And there's another thing where YouTube finally rolled out its feature where they let you monetize at a lower level with fewer features. So you still don't qualify for advertisements until you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. But you can get memberships and super chats at 500 subscribers, which I think is super cool, because if I ever, like, monetize on YouTube, that's kind of the direction I would prefer to move. I would rather you guys pay me $1 a month to unlock cool emojis, like exclusive emotes to use in chat for my channel, that I would probably end up drawing myself, because I don't know what else I would put for custom emotes. And yeah, that's why I'd be, like, weird about the YouTube membership, because, sorry. A little bit stiff. I have to feel my way around, whether I would choose to move VIP to YouTube or not. Ko-fi is comfy. It lets, like, regardless of whether I move, like, VIP streams to YouTube under YouTube memberships, because, like, YouTube lets you do member-only streams a little more seamlessly, whereas right now I have to do them unlisted, and I link to them on the Ko-fi. What's cool about that means members are free to share the link with their friends and bring a +1 if they are so inclined. It's just that, like, the VIPs hear about it first, whereas with members-only streams, would be strictly members only. You couldn't get anyone else into the stream. it would just be more difficult to access the content overall. Like, it really depends on, like, who it's easier for. Because if I move exclusive streams to YouTube memberships, then it's easier for me. But if I keep them on Ko-fi, it's easier for you. And I'm like, you have to make those kinds of decisions. The Ko-fi's not going anywhere regardless. Because Ko-fi has a bunch of features that YouTube doesn't, that I like, that I think are cute. I did find out the other day that YouTube lets you have, like, commerce affiliate links. And lets you kind of, but, like, you can't, like, upload listings to YouTube. It's, like, YouTube lets you link to an existing vendor, which can be yours. It can be your shop. But that still requires you to have a separate shop. And I'm not sure if you can do that via Ko-fi. But Ko-fi, I can do commissions. I can, like, price them specifically. I can have control over commission slots. And on Ko-fi, I can also open a shop for both digital and physical goods, if I so choose. So, like, if I start, like, making merch, it's going on the Ko-fi shop. Like, that will continue to be a supplement to the YouTube channel no matter what. Because it's one of those cool things where it's like, I do have a Patreon account, but I don't really use it. And that's also because I use it for, like, my original content stuff, and because my streaming career is what I kicked off first, it kind of languishes doing nothing. And, yeah. Did I do my thingy this hour? I didn't. No. Like, Ko-fi lets me do what Patreon does. It lets me do... It's got a lot of features, and they're always adding more. And right now I do this thing where they have, like, these special premium features, and there are 2 ways to pay for it. One of them is X number of dollars a month, and the other is we take a cut from your donations. And because I don't get, like, tons and tons of donations, my choice is take a cut right now, so I can just have access to them immediately, and I could switch over to Ko-fi Gold from, I don't know if it's a sponsor or supporter. I think it's called supporter. But I can switch from supporter to gold if that becomes more cost-effective down the line. If they let me. I'm sure they'll be sad to see the dollars go, but gold is gold. They can say that, oh yeah, we got another guy on our subscription service. When it turns out that the subscription service is actually the cheaper of the options. That looks good to shareholders, I think. Is Ko-fi publicly traded? I don't think it is. If it were, I think it would suck more. I think it might be a private company right now. It looks better to the corporate world, let's just say. I don't think Ko-fi has stocks yet. I have 2 of these things open. Okay, yeah, I can keep fighting. Sweet. And one of the reasons I like Ko-fi's features so much is because it combines so many different things. Yeah, it's got the Patreon equivalent, but it's also got a single one-time tip jar functionality. Like, it started out as the one-time tip jar functionality exclusively. Then it expanded to having paid memberships with exclusive content. Tiered memberships, just like Patreon. You can open a shop. You can open commissions. We have a gallery system that sorts the images you submit. So you can have an art gallery. I haven't properly curated one yet. But I can have one. And I think what I might do going forward is that I'm very strongly thinking about, like, starting my own website. obviously, it's not like I can stream to that website. It's a very simple, it's gonna be like a flat, static web page. It's gonna look nice, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna have cool stuff on it, but it's not going to be very, like, data and file heavy, and the stuff that is going to be linked off-site from that website, so it's like, here, if you want to support me, come to my Ko-fi, subscribe to my YouTube channel, etc. And it's kind of like a not quite semi-centralized location. You will hear about it once it comes out, because I will be, like, if I can get that shit out, it's not gonna come out anytime soon, but once it does, I'm going to be hyping the shit out of it, because web development is cool, and it's one of those things I'll be proud of, for its own sake, in addition to what gushing about it will get for me in the future. And, like, the idea is that one of the things I wanted to put on there, potentially, was an art gallery. Right now the service I'm using, NeoCities, is... It's a static website builder. And it's paid membership. I think it's its paid membership is $50 a year, I think. And it gives you... Is it $50 a year? It's $50 a year for 50 gigabytes of storage. And so, the shit that looks good on a website that you can just look at, like, that shit doesn't need to be super high resolution. But, one of the things Ko-fi has advertised as a thing that you can do there is like, oh yeah, you can offer full resolution versions of artwork for people to pay to look at as, like, a tier perk. And, like, yeah, I could do that. Especially because if I go through with hosting a gallery on my own website, I won't have enough space, data space, to host the full resolution shit. Whereas with Ko-fi, I don't think there's necessarily a limit. I don't think it's the kind of thing that, like, rate limits the amount of gigabytes your art gallery can take up. DeviantArt doesn't do that. I can't imagine Ko-fi will. And since Ko-fi is a payment platform, well, it's not a payment platform. It hooks into other payment platforms. But, the idea is that, yeah, if you put full res stuff behind it, that is an incentive for someone to subscribe to Ko-fi. And Ko-fi benefits because they get a little share of that profits, whether you're using gold or supporter role. Because I think both of those are one of those, they're the same features, it's two different methods of getting the same stuff. But it gives you the opportunity to even have that stuff in the first place. Because I think tiered memberships are gold exclusive. Or gold or supporter service. It's the same thing. The paid thing lets you do tiered memberships. If you're an unpaid user, I think you can only have the one. And I don't think you can use commissions the same way either. And I know for a fact that you can only open a shop with gold or supporter. And the shop is just such a cute idea. Like, God, it's so cute. The ideas, they flow forth. Man, we have listened to almost the entire fucking soundtrack of the main story of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, huh? Sometimes I think it would be funny if I made a Magalore Memes website. I'm not sure what I'd do with it, though. So, the platform I mentioned, NeoCities, you could just log in, like, you could sign up, make an account, and you get a free gigabyte of space. And it's the point of the website. It's a spiritual revival of GeoCities, which is this old-ass... I'm not sure if it's Web 1.0 or very, very, very early Web 2.0. I think it might be 1.0, late 1.0. But it's when everyone had their own website. I think GeoCities might have been, like, a free or low-cost way to make your own website, and that's why people would set up their own, like, fan shrines to their favorite characters. It's from the era where everyone had their own website. And NeoCities is a love letter to that. And it's like a thing that lets you make your own web page and encourages you how to learn how to use HTML files. And, the only reason I'd be paying for it is because, one, if I'm going to host an art gallery there, I am going to want to use as much of that space as I can. I'm going to need lots of space. Be big ego boost talking about how epic and sleep deprived I am. Yeah, see, you can make a website and do whatever the fuck you want on it, at least within the terms of service of the host. Always beware of the terms of the hosting platform you use. But, apparently Bogleach uses NeoCities, and he said he's had a ton, he has, like, a static web page is a very lightweight piece of software. It's, like, blazingly fast, and it's very tiny. And he says he hosts a ton of images there, too. And with the right reduction in, resolution for artwork, if you reduce a piece of artwork to be just the size of something that you expect to see, like if it's, like I work in really high resolutions, so I'll often have stuff that has like its shortest size its shortest side is a minimum of 1,000 pixels, but that's huge on the internet when it's displayed on the internet. So if I reduce something down to, say, 500 pixels wide, that's still a pretty significantly large image on a website, rendered by the website. And it's also way smaller, so you can even have full PNGs, and as long as you make them small, that shit gets tiny. And for some of this stuff, I plan on making some vector graphics, which are even... Ooh, SVG files are so lightweight. It's literally just code telling the directions the lines to go. It's so good. And since SVG is vector-based, the concept of the vector-based graphics means that you can zoom in as much as you want and the resolution never goes down, because it's not... Resolution isn't the point. It's not a raster graphic. It's not based on pixels. It's based on lines and math and shit. So, you can get a lot of mileage out of vector graphics. And vector graphics are usually used for, like, logos and shit, so I'd be using it for, like, nice-looking logos. Yeah. But, the thing is that I could cram a lot of more art than I generally think I can. Because, like, my thumbnails for these YouTube videos are usually range from 780p to 1080p. And, sometimes the 1080p thumbnails are too big, because the maximum size for a YouTube thumbnail, at least for a channel of my size, the base size is 2 megabytes. It cannot be bigger than 2 megabytes. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes my 1080p thumbnails are too big to be uploaded to YouTube as thumbnails. So I'll have to drop them down to 720p. But because they're thumbnails, they still look good. And like 720p is still like the lowest version of HD. It's not 4K or anything, but it doesn't really need to be 4K. Because a lot of the way people are gonna see that is it's just like 20 pixels high, or maybe 50 pixels high. And yeah, we're getting more, bit sensitivity as things go on. Bit sensitivity. What the fuck is bit sensitivity? It's late. I meant to say pixel density, where there's more pixels per section of the screen to make clearer images. Yeah. I want to work on my website, but also I have a million other things I want to work on. And I do have, some of them do have deadlines. I want to work on those. But, like, if I can slowly get around to piecing my website together in the background, and if I can get around to forcing myself, to do more VIP streams, then I'll have an excuse to do something creative on stream, because the point of VIP streams It's not just you get to see me do art stuff, it's also you get to see me do behind the scenes shit for this channel. So you get to watch me draw thumbnails or whatever. And me working on this hypothetical website, it's not hypothetical, I really want to make it. I own a URL to use for it already. It's going to happen, it just might take a while. But me, it still counts. It still lives under the Xerxes Texas Toast name. Which means I could totally show it in a VIP stream sometime, where I'm just, like, puttering around in HTML. And it's like, hey, look at this web page I made. So, yeah. It's getting late. I think I am going to wrap up this stream here. I know I just went on a big, relatively high-energy tangent about this all. Thank you for hanging out. I know it was a little more of a low-energy stream. I know it wasn't really me playing as anything. I wasn't playing something as cool as what I usually do. But it was nice to just kind of kick back and just talk about shit while I play some mindless games in the background. And yeah. I hope you have a nice rest of the week. I hope I have a nice rest of the week. Yeah. See you then. Make a fucking NeoCities account. Goodbye and good night.